Hello, kumusta po kayo lahat? Welcome po sa ating munting channel ng Inday Sara, Survivor, ang taga-ulit ng balita.
Bakit yung ginong na binaylan? Tama!
Always laughing, always sad. I'll fake it for anyone.
Di ka pa sa ilaing lugar sa Europe. Na yung mga taga-US. Napos diri. Asa ka binaylan? Kuya! Mutuo ka na binaylan ko ta? Hoy, wala na akong chantas! Maglawan, salat ka gitan. Norway, o Canada. O Germany. Austria. Iceland.
Salamat po sa suporta. Salamat po sa suporta ng mga kababayan. Sino ang sigaw ng masa? Sino ang mahal na mga Pilipino?
Kailangan ng tao na may Sara Duterte na tatakbo ng 2028. So we need to vote pro-Duterte senators.
Now, with the current composition of Senate, do you think that they have the numbers in Senate to impeach?
I actually have written about it na. The way I see it, Attorney Karen, is this. There are many re-electionists in the Senate now. We only have two allies so far, vocal allies, like we have Senator Bongo and Senator Bato de la Rosa.
What about Robin Padilla?
He's not a re-electionist. I'm talking about the re-electionist.
Okay.
So these two would focus more on their campaign, of course. So we have other people who are not re-electionists. We have, Robin Padilla. And I'm also eyeing for the mentor of VP Sara, Lauren
Who is that?
Legarda.
Okay.
Also, Amy Marcos is already vocal about her support that she would block the impeachment. So we already have 5 by numbers. And if I'm not mistaken, we only need 8 for 8 senators to rule against the impeachment for the impeachment, what do you call that?
The
Articles of
Yeah,
impeachment
articles of
would be.
impeachment. I think it's 8
dismissed.
or 9, yeah.
Yeah, and So for the articles of impeachment to be dismissed, disregarded, we just need that. So I think we have the number in the current structure of the Senate.
You have the numbers to stop the impeachment.
stop the impeachment,
And if
yeah.
there were if this happened, the trial happened after the elections, do you think that they would have the numbers to impeach Doc Richard?
Yeah, well, my suggestion for the people then, let's go for pro-Duterte talaga, as much as we can. Because we need a bigger number to be safe. It's not about protecting Sara Duterte. It's protecting that Sara should remain in the list to run as president in 2028. That's our right. Kasi ang takot namin, one thing na po yung impeachment eh. But our fear as well is ma-remove siya sa listahan na hindi siya makarun for president. And that we need to protect. Kailangan ng tao na may Sara Duterte na tatakbo ng 2028. So we need to vote pro-Duterte senator.
For those non-Filipinos who are wondering why the former president of the Philippines, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, is well loved by the Filipinos, well, I'll tell you some of what he contributed to our country. During his term, he restored peace and order. If you are a law-abiding citizen, there is no problem. But if you break the law, especially if you're committing heinous crimes, you will celebrate your last Christmas, as he said. The streets, whether day or night, are safe for children, men, and women. The former president, Duterte, hates drugs, while the current president hates drug tests. During Duterte's term, evil forces were lying low, but today, currently, they're committing crimes in broad daylight. Especially those public officials, they are conniving with each other as a result of this weak leadership in the country. Drug addicts were given a second chance and millions voluntarily surrendered. Oligarchs who owed the government taxes, even the owner of Philippine Airlines, who did not pay the rent of the usage of the terminal for 3 decades or so, left no choice but to pay. Otherwise, Duterte will shut terminal down. Just like the corrupt officials and the media. His political will is extraordinary. He did his best to make Filipino lives easier. Internationally, Duterte gave us a sense of pride to be a Filipino. Because of him, validity of our passport is 10 years now. Because of him, there's a free tertiary education. Because of him, there's a lot of infrastructure through Build program. He has done so many better things in Philippine healthcare. He is foul-mouthed, but his actions are good. We have a lot of good-mouthed politicians, but they are corrupt, insensitive, thieves, and unbothered to the needs of the Filipino people. There are more and more, so I encourage you to search the internet and see the legacies he left behind, especially to those Filipino people who are even ungrateful and traitorous. And one of those is the current President Bongbong Marcos. The latter's dictator father was not given a proper burial. 5 presidents have passed. No one dared to allow the dead body to finally give its rest, suiting for a president. Until Duterte came to power, as he said, it has divided Filipinos for such a long time. Now, he repaid Duterte this kind of traitorous act by kidnapping him to a foreign court, ICC in The Hague, whereas we have a working and legitimate regional courts, the Supreme Court. During the previous government, if some of the Filipinos need to repatriated back home, if they are guilty or not guilty, they're trying their best, they do their best to have that Filipino back in the Philippines. But today, President will just give you to an international court. That easy. This is backfiring now at so many levels. He and his cohorts cannot put a good man down. Together as one, all Filipinos around the world will fight for our beloved hero and still the father of our country, former President Tatay Digong Duterte.
Of President Duterte as a normal citizen na lang. Dahil wala siya sa pwesto, wala siyang kapangyarihan ngayon, pero bakit siya pa rin ang gusto ng tao?
Pero popular pa rin siya, no?
Bakit siya pa rin? Napakasakit nun sa isang taong nasa pwesto o presidente man, ano man. Masakit yon dahil ang gusto pa rin ng taong bayan ang nawala na sa pwesto.
Oh, I like your point, Attorney Mark. Sabi ni Lala, kung ikaw nakaupong presidente, medyo makakaramdam ka talaga ng level of insecurity. Kasi ang minamahal at pinapalakpakan kahit ikaw ay nagmamarcha sa isang parade ground o kaya sa isang pagtitipon, ang isinisigaw, Duterte.
Yes.
At hindi BBM.
Yes.
At nakita yan sa social media.
Psychologically, sa psychological perspective nito, ang isang taong hindi nabibigay sa kanya, minsan ka lang maging presidente sa isang bansa.
Correct.
At matagal pinrepare yun ni BBM, even before his term, naging vice president siya, natalo siya bilang isang vice presidente. And for sure, ang tagal niyang pinrepare yung sarili niya para sa moment na to, at ito pa yung nangyari. So, sobrang lakas ng insecurity dahil for sure naman, ako din, hindi ko kayang i-jeopardize yung opportunity na yon bilang isang presidente dahil alam ko minsan lang mangyayari to. Kaya nagtataka ako, bakit niya nagawa yon even though he is aware na mahal ng taong bayan yung kinakalaban niya.
You're trying to say, gusto kong kuhanan si Attorney Mark ng reaction. Ang punto nila lang, hindi lang historical reference. There is something of a psychological aspect sa